Hello, hello, my friends. Today I have something kind of fun for you. I wanted to do a bug mission on the Destroy Eggs because I thought it would be the easiest to do, where basically you don't leave the vehicle, the whole time. I wanted to do like a drive-by mission. And I was like, who better than my skilled driver, Pharaoh, to take me on this mission? And immediately started regretting ever asking him to be my driver. But for the most part, he did a good job. You're also going to see that my HUD keeps going in and out. The reason that was is with this mission, I had just set a keybind to my L3 stick to double tap my L3 stick to make my HUD go away. Because I just think it's far more immersive, and the game is incredibly beautiful, as you'll see throughout this content. The only problem is I don't have my stratagems memorized, and the stratagems I brought are not stratagems I typically use, so I definitely didn't have them memorized. So you'll see me hopping back, getting my HUD out just so I can get a stratagem launched. Other than that, I tried to stick true to this like hardcore mode as much as I can. And this moment right here is exactly what I wanted to showcase. I wanted to just pull up on a nest in a vehicle, a whole Helldiving crew, and like, let's just blast it with stratagems. We even had a random with us that was just doing it too. He just knew, like, hey, this is the protocol. If you have an opportunity to play the game like this, I think you should, because it's incredible. And that's also a good point. It's like this game, if you make fun in this game, like it's a sandbox game. You have to create your own kind of fun, and doing things like this just add to the enjoyment and the longevity of the game. Like I know there's new updates all the time, but if you're struggling to find fun, try to be a little bit creative with it, because I think you'll find something really enjoyable. So I guess that's my main point is, try to maximize your fun in this game. Don't always feel like you need to bring the best loadout or the most optimal, even on the higher difficulties. Like Pharaoh, for example, is our like racing game aficionado in our group of friends, and he always loves driving games. So adding the vehicle to Helldivers gave him an opportunity to like craft a new role, and actually made him enjoy the game again, which he wasn't for a while. And that new role is, he's become our designated driver. He drives around with armor packs for us, but his main purpose is just getting us to the objective. And, I trust him as a designated driver because he's got a lot of practice with it. Never mind. Fuck this guy. He's dead? I think he died. I think that was him dying at my feet. Oh no, he's still alive, but he doesn't care about the car anymore. Okay, I'm out of here. Fuck this, fuck all this. I don't need a car. Cars are stupid. We're just gonna go do other things. But wow. What a beautiful scene. This is why I don't play with the HUD. Just take this in for a second. All those explosions and dead bugs. Wow. Okay, I know the hot topic is the new sub-faction of bugs and the new Stalkers, but can I just rant about the old Stalkers for a second? Because they were annoying as hell. They take so much damage. You need stopping power with them, or you're just gonna be like tossed around like a fucking old toy. And second of all, why the hell am I dealing with 4 of them here? I guess there were 2 nests, but I've never had the experience of dealing with 4 of them like this. And I'm actually noticing as I watch back at this, I've come a long way, because there used to be a period of time when I would play this game and I could not approach a Stalker's nest by myself, because I would just get pummeled and die and die and die and die and die. And, well, maybe I still can't do that, actually. Remember, kids, don't do drugs, but if you take drugs in Helldivers, feel free to jump off a mountain. If you have the experimental infusion, you can pop a stim even when you're at full health. So what happened there is I put my controller down, probably rage quit, or they were taking too long to res me. When they did, I fell on top of a mountain for some silly reason. So because I was at full health, if I didn't have the experimental infusion, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And again, Pharaoh is just demonstrating a perfect example of why I trust him as a driver. He just puts us in the most peculiar situations. You know what this reminds me of, actually? Do you remember that scene in Role Models where the car drives on top of the bull? That's exactly what this reminds me of. But besides that, this was a really cool moment. This map had, I think, 4 or 5 Stalker nests. It was absolutely insane. But just the cinematics of blasting into them with this heavy machine gun as Pharaoh, thankfully takes us very far away from those things, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Cinema. And I think that's why I like playing without the HUD so much in this game, is it's just, incredible. They're making a Helldivers movie, And I mean, I can't help but just feel like the game is a movie in and of itself. Like, it kind of is, other than the fact that the story delivery is not there, if at all. But these crazy moments, like I'm up against two chargers and they pin me against a rock, and I happen to dive over the rock and they get stuck. Like that's just such a suspenseful and chaotic, again, back to chaos moment. It's like, it's just cinema. And as I'm watching this, it just like pains my eyes to see the HUD here now. Like, I'm so used to wanting to play without it that when I see it, it's like really frustrating to me. So again, I highly recommend you guys try playing without a HUD, because this game is beautiful and it is immersive. It almost makes me wish there was like a VR component to this, but maybe that's just a bit too much. But like I said earlier, man, this map was full of stalkers, and if it wasn't for the cookout, that stalker would have killed me, for sure. 100%. I mean, he's still not dead, he's still taking shots, but dude, the cookout cooks. I mean, for lack of a better word, it cooks. But look at me, just in the night sky, the moon's behind me, I'm just blasting bugs, the screen's all bloody. That's another thing that I want to talk about real quick, is this game has, even when you're playing without the HUD, it has a lot of indicators to tell you, like, information. Like, okay, obviously, yes, in every game, when your screen goes bloody, hey, buddy, you need a heal, kind of thing. I didn't mean to rhyme there. I'm not Dr. Seuss, but you get my point. But it also has other things, like the ammo that you see on your grenade launcher, for example, will be accurate to how many shots you have left before you have to reload. Some of the shotguns have indicators on the side of them. You know, the jetpack's an easy one because you can see the light behind it will like turn red when you've used it, but then it turns yellow when it's able to be used again. And I notice more and more of these things as I play without the HUD. Obviously, when you play with the HUD, those things kind of disappear and you don't really notice the subtle cues to give you this kind of information. But it is really cool to know just in general. So if you're here down in the chat, tell me if I miss any other subtle cues that you get from the game to give you information without the HUD, because I am actually very interested in that. I think it would be very helpful for myself and people in the chat, so please do tell. I'm also kind of curious to know if you guys have played like this, because we made a video a while ago talking about how we did the no HUD situation, and I think somebody in the chat there had told me, you know, you should try the keybind because it gets rid of everything, and I 100% agree. The reticle, Micho, are you listening? Reticle, not recticle, it is the reticle. That is kind of annoying to not have, but you get used to it, and the game's not that hard to where you can't go without it. If you're really struggling, though, the reticle, being without it is like too painful. You can keep your HUD on for like chaotic situations, or you can just use a shotgun, because shotguns seem to be very dead center of your screen for the most part. You know, I'm over here picking pine cones, talking about random stuff, but have you been watching this driving that has been going on? Again, I give props to Pharaoh. He is a phenomenal driver. He never gets us in risky situations. Always knows where to... God damn it. Why, dude? Why would you shoot the hell bomb? Okay, jokes aside, this is going to demonstrate like a perfect example of what I think vehicles add to this game, and why I actually do appreciate somebody who is quote-unquote our driver, like our person that is in charge of the vehicle. They know where the vehicle is at all times. So we're trying to deal with this main objective, and it was getting overrun. We had bugs literally everywhere. Everyone was getting pushed off the point. It was really, really hard to deal with. I was trying to get here and figure it out, but it just was not happening. So it was kind of an intense situation, but we end up fighting for this, and I don't want to spoil it too much, but we end up fighting to regain this objective. And as I'm doing this, like, you can see that being swarmed when you don't have a HUD it's so much scarier. I keep reiterating this point, but the HUD really does take away a lot from this game. Like, I'm having to pay attention to shadows behind me and like where things are, and I guess not all of it would be obstructed by the HUD, but not having the HUD makes me more aware of things like that. Is that a fair way to put it? Okay, I've said this before plenty of times, that bugs are the best faction, and I get that that is a very subjective take, and I'm not trying to take like this hard stance. Most players play bugs, and I think the reason why is because they feel, for most people, the most fun. And I think part of what that is all the factions, you have to fight them very differently, and bugs, you have to kite them, you have to like herd them around objectives and run around, and that kind of suspense and tension when you're trying to like run away from them instead of brute forcing and just like charging into them is really entertaining. If you think another faction is more fun for whatever reason, I'm excited to know why, so tell me in the comments, but that's totally valid and I respect it. Anyways, here is the Helldivers movie. This scene better be in the Helldivers movie or I'm gonna lose it. So I'm looking for my brother. I'm like, Pharaoh, I got the box. Where's the car? And he's like, come to me, we'll get the car. I'm like, okay, cool, here I come. And then he's like, oh, actually turn around. I'm like, thank God, because there was a lot of bugs there. So we're gonna pop a stimmy, we're going to cut the HUD, and we're running. And this was like a cool moment. I'm surrounded by bugs, like my shield is getting pressured by the first bug, the second bug now, and then as soon as the third one cracks my shield, I turn and I see my brother there, and I'm like, I'm safe. We got this. So we're gonna jump, run into this car, he's gonna lay down some stratagems for cover fire, Flyer's gonna eat it on the side of the car, that was epic, and we're off. And now we're out of here. So anyways, my friends, I love the vehicle in Helldivers 2. I think it adds a lot to the game, and I love that it got Pharaoh back into the game. So do you have any friends like that? Do you like the vehicle? How have you been using the vehicle? And most importantly, is Pharaoh going to kill me at the end of this clip? I think the answer is yes. Told ya. Oh, wait.